Well, welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today, I'm done working on Billy's S10. It's ready to go have some more fixing done to it in his shop. He's on his way to come get it. But I needed to get some of my own work done now. And I have a Toyota Land Cruiser. Yes, another Toyota Land Cruiser that I need to work on. So let's get it inside. You want to see what I do with it? Stick around. Should be fun. If not, it might be educational. You never know. I can't wait to see this thing fly, though. It's going to be awesome. We got so much stuff on this lot to work on, it's not even funny. But we have this beautiful, I want to say textured black Toyota, ta-da, Land Cruiser. Not an FJ Cruiser. Actual Toyota Land Cruiser. Wow, somebody spent a lot of money on this Jeep. Well, I was told it was driven here, so we're going to see if it'll start and pull into the shop, and we will check ignition, carburetor settings, and figure out why it doesn't run right. Who knows, maybe we'll do a compression test and find out that the engine is, even though it's freshly been rebuilt, is not. That happens from time to time. Got a big old winch on there. Alcan spring. Never heard of them. There's a lot of really nice parts on this Jeep. Sorry, Toyota. Those are nice. It's got an electric fuel pump on it. Thinking about it. It's cold, I know. Does this thing have manual choke? No, it's got electric choke. At least it's supposed to have electric choke. Really? Right off the bat? Choke's shut. Yay, it came out the bottom. It's not going to start. I can't be that optimistic that it would start. High idle put into it. Oh, synchronous two-barrel. Well, it cranks over slow for having a brand new starter on it. That's our high idle adjustment. Let's grab a screwdriver. Okay, there's a little high idle. Better. Then we tap the gas, come off. Let this thing warm up a wee bit. Does not sound like it's running on all 6 cylinders. Let's check our temperature on our header when we go grab Super nice rig. New seats, new top. Somebody spent a whole bunch of money on this thing to not have it run right. Got a little rust on her. That's kind of par for course for an old Toyota Land Cruiser. For what it is, it's a nice rig. I don't know if you could hear me while this was running, but you can see the water burns off that one, and it just sits on that one. So that tube is definitely cold. That tube's hot. That tube's hot. That tube's hot. So we have a misfire in cylinder number 3. So it could be a low compression issue, a valve issue, carbon spark plug, ignition, any one of those items. So we're going to run through some tests and figure out why that tube's cold. That tube's still pretty hot for what it is. Zoop. There goes the moisture. So that's a quick, easy way to check if you have tubular headers. But you spray water on the exhaust tubes, and when it completely just dissipates, you've got a hot tube with good spark. If the water sits on the tube, you've got a cold tube, and you have an issue in that plug. I hate it when I have a problem with my whole spark plug hole. Alright, so right off the bat, we have solved a carburetor tuning issue, which was it didn't have fast idle set. So it'll start easier the next time it's cold now. Just step on the fuel pedal 2-3 times, depending on the car. That'll set your electric choke. That'll set your high idle. It should crank over and fire at that higher idle RPM to warm up the engine faster. Then when you step on the gas once, it will disengage the high idle and drop down to your normal idle, which will probably end up setting, because it's probably wrong too. I will check the idle mixture screw, which if I remember right is that guy. This one has a one on both sides, this one's synchronous, so it's a combination of both screws most likely. I'll have to look at the manual. This is a Weber 2-barrel synchronous. It's probably a 3838. I haven't done any research on what this is in this thing yet, but we will figure that out here shortly. This looks to have the old points distributor in it. It has vacuum advance, which will make sure that the vacuum advance works. On the last FJ40, well, this has an electronic ignition with vacuum advance, so at least it's not points. But it's not the 1-year distributor like the one I did on the last FJ40, which required me to basically rebuild the existing distributor, because that distributor was only used 1 year or 1.5 years, and they are impossible to find. So I ended up doing a full rebuild on that. I think Austin will probably put a clip to that video over there if you're into FJ40 stuff. Pretty nice Toyota for what I've seen so far. Most of these things are so rotten, nothing left of them, but these motors run forever, and then you rebuild them and then they run forever again. Got some super fresh oil in it. But first I'm going to pull this thing inside because it's cold outside. So let's go indoors. It's not summer yet. It's car fix season instead of car drive season. Timing is very advanced. Timing is very advanced. You can hear it load or labor. The starter labors when it cranks over, and then it fires. Timing's advanced. I'm going to guess the vacuum secondaries are not working, or the mechanical advance is not working, just like the last Toyota we had, and it's probably been over advanced at the base to make up for the lack of overall timing that it should have when it's running at speed. So clutch feels pretty good, brakes feel pretty good, door shuts like poo. Actually pretty comfortable inside. Steering's super smooth. All the steering components look to be brand new. Again, somebody spent a ton of time and money on this little Toyota Cruiser. So we're gonna make it better. We're gonna take all these good parts and make them actually work together correctly. Junior's got some guar going on in the background, or death metal or something. I don't know if the copyrights will care about that stuff or not. Nobody else does. Oh, she's black. Carbon fouled. Are they all carbon fouled? Or just that one? Let's find out. No, they're all black. Let's get a set of plugs for this thing. That one's clean. Nah, I'll just clean them. Let's clean them all. They look new, like all the rest of the parts in this car. I don't know what he paid for this old FJ, but I would say he probably got a good deal on it. It's a nice rig. Lots of nice things done to it. Not entirely black. Those look like a iridium plug. I think I'm going to get some good old-fashioned copper plugs, like what's supposed to be in it. If I'm understanding this carburetor, its idle settings were at 5 turns out on the idle set screws. So I turn those back into 1.5. If it takes 5 turns out, then it's jetted completely wrong for this engine. So let's put in some fresh plugs and figure out what's going on with this. Caleb's gonna get me busted for copyright. So basically the complaint on this vehicle is my Jeep runs like poo, make it run good. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna check my vacuum advance here in a minute. Squirrel! The mechanical advance leaves a little bit to be desired because it doesn't really return. It should return all the way, so we definitely have a distributor problem as well. So I think I'll just go ahead and get a distributor coming for it because those are readily available and they're not that expensive. If I remember right from the last one I did. If I can't find one, then I'll take this one apart and rebuild it like I did the last one, but it's a lot of time to do that. Alright, I have backed my idle mixture settings off to 1.5 turns. On these Webers, if it's more than 1.5 turns, your jets are too small, and if it's less than a half turn, your jets are too big. So your idle setting screws should really be between a half turn and 1.5 turns. If they're not, you need to rejet. We've got excellent oil pressure. My throttle pivot is not great. My throttle return spring is horrible. I should probably check to see fuel pressure. This carburetor only wants like up to 3 psi, but it's already running a ton better, and we're running on all 6 cylinders now, so that's a good step in the right direction. I'm going to roll this thing over, pull the distributor out, take a look at it, because that's the next step. My mechanical advance feels really tight, so I'm going to pull it apart, play with it a little bit. I'm not going to get a distributor here today, and I'd actually like to be done with this. Ooh, it needs a cooling fan. One of the cooling fan blades are busted. That'll take a water pump out right quick because it makes the assembly out of balance, and it takes the bearings out of the water pump. So we'll need to get a cooling fan for it. That's a rigid fan. We'll see if there's a fan clutch available for this, because that would be more efficient. Things to ponder.
Well, I'm going to interrupt the regularly scheduled program here of Rich working on stuff and do an announcement. Our merch is finally live. The page is finally live. You can now finally buy our very first merch design thing, since everybody asked for it. Well, not everybody, but at least 3 people have asked us to do merch. So it's officially up. As of right now, you can get online. Go to LucoreAuto.myshopify, LucoreAuto.myshopify.com. It'll take you to our Shopify site, and you can finally pre-order our merch. There's a hoodie with our Church of Bad Decisions logo on the back that Gina Rose did from down yonder in Kentucky at the Shirt Gallery. There's also a t-shirt as well as a pocketed t-shirt, all of the same design. So that is the very first design that we're ever going to have. First thing we're going to offer. I do have a couple people who have asked about doing our classic work shirts. If you guys are interested in something like that, let me know. I can get that happening. If you don't know what that looks like, just a second. This is our classic shirt, what we actually use here in the shop and we wear in the shop. Just got Lucore Automotive on the front there, and then it's got our 2 turbos design that's on the back. This can be available if you guys are interested in it. It's not something at this point in time we have on the website, but if you guys are interested, drop it in the comment section below. We can work that out. It'll be along the same kind of lines as far as pricing goes. But it's something that if you guys are interested in, our classic work shirt, let me know. I'll get it up on the website. So anyway, thanks for everybody who's asked for merch. It's out there now. Go spend some money. It is pre-order, so it's gonna take about a month between when we process the pre-orders and when we actually start shipping this stuff, because Gina has to make it, and we have no idea how many we need. Somewhere between hopefully 2 and 2,000. So keep that in mind when you're putting your orders through, that it's probably gonna be about a month or so before you would see any product shipping from us. But anyway, back to your regularly scheduled program with Rich working on a Toyota thingy. Here you go.
My new distributor. Where did I put my new distributor? It's over there. I'll pull my old distributor out. Let's go ahead and take off our hot inner ground. Dimensionally, it looks the same. Let's see if we can drop it in here correctly. Amazing, it goes right in. Probably need that guy up though. Try it right about there. Switch our plug wires over to the large diameter cap. These wires aren't deep enough. It could cause problems. I think I have my wires hooked up right. I think I have my distributor where I need it to be, or at least close. I'm gonna snug it down so that I can move it, but still have it not run free on me. Hook up my hot and cold to my dizzy, and we'll be able to fire it up and set timing. She's all hooked up. Let's see if it'll fire. Still too much. Really didn't like that. Now you got it all messed up. What'd you do, Richard? wrapping up this Toyota FJ40. This is another one of those situations where I had a mechanical advance that was not mechanical advancing. The vacuum advance seems to be working, but these distributors for this were readily available. It was easier to just replace it than it is to do a rebuild on one of these. So, new distributor. The new distributor is the big body instead of the small body, but this guy doesn't care as long as his rig runs. So new distributor, Carburetor, and set it up, timed it, base timing's good. My high idle I'm playing with a little bit. I'm not real happy with the throttle linkage and the throttle return spring, so I'm going to make some changes to that, and then this thing's going to be leaving hopefully today. So with that, we're going to end this video right here. New distributor, replaced the plugs with copper cores because the ones that were in here were severely carbon fouled. Showed a little bit about you know, finding dead cylinders and whatnot. Some carburetor adjustments, distributor replacements. In the end, it should run very well, much better than it was before. And that's the whole goal. So thank you for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment below. We'll see you on the next one. Stay safe out there.